Hello and welcome to the live stream from the 8th round of the World Junior B Curling Championships in Lohja. As you can see, we've got the junior women's round happening this evening, and the game that will be featuring on sheet D, as usual, is Kazakhstan versus Finland. We're trying to make sure that our overhead camera will give you a view of the other sheets next to the Kazakhstan-Finland game. So on the left-hand side of the frame, you can see the Australia-Slovenia game. And then, oh sorry, my view is different. On the right-hand side of your frame, you can see the Australia-Slovenia game and England-Poland on the other side. And to any of you that are watching, I would like to pose the question of, are there a lot of Finnish fans out there listening? Because if so, I don't mind switching the commentary to Finnish. So please comment in the chat if you would prefer to listen to the commentary in Finnish, because it was something that we discussed here and thought that I would offer the chance for you to decide. So if you prefer to listen to a bit of curling commentary in English tonight, and we have a lot of international viewers, then I'm happy to do it in English. And if it's mostly Finnish people watching, I'm happy to switch languages. So I will keep talking in English until I hear your vote on the matter. In Team Kazakhstan, if we could go through the players, I apologize for the pronunciation. Some of the names look a bit challenging, but the lead in the Kazakhstani team is Yekaterina Kolikalova. Second position is played by Angelina Ebayer, and she's also vice skip. The third player is Anastasia Spirikova, and the fourth is Sitora Aliyerova, and she's also the skip of the team. And then the lineup of the Finnish team, we've got Jasmin Sato, who's the lead as well as the vice skip. Jasmina Nilosari as the second of the team. Josefina Sato playing third, and Nora Suuripää, who's playing fourth as well as skip. This game is the first game of the championships for both of the teams, so they haven't had any games before this, and it might show in their reading of the ice, and we'll see how the teams get along. At least there's stuff happening in the first end already, so this will hopefully be an interesting game ahead. Thanks for your comment, Joe. We'll keep it in English, at least for now. I might drop in some commentary in Finnish as well if it looks like we get a lot of Finnish people watching. But I will mostly be covering the game in English then. So the Finnish team is starting to get themselves into a bit of trouble here in the first end. Kazakhstan already lying 3 on the side of the house, but Finland does have the hammer or the last rock for this end, so they've got a good chance to bail themselves out of trouble. It looks like the girls are looking at playing maybe a double out of the 2 red ones on the side, or trying to get a hit and roll off of that to the center. Looking at this shot, maybe the call was not a takeout type of a shot. Maybe they did go for a draw, but unfortunately that was quite a bit too heavy for that, or maybe the goal was to tap the back rock a little bit and roll off of that. Not quite sure what they were going for here, but an unfortunate miss, and it will mean that after this Kazakhstani rock, Finland will probably be playing their last rock of the first end against 4 Kazakhstan stones in the house. A pretty good draw there by the Kazakhstan skip. A little bit further back than they would have liked. It would have been much better on that same line, but maybe top 4 or top 8 to block that draw for the Finnish team. Now they're maybe making the job for the Finnish skip Nora a little bit easier, because all she really has to do is draw against those 2 red rocks in the back of the house. And it looks like it was a great draw by the Finnish skip, who just played her first rock quite a bit too heavy and found the draw weight for that last one really well. So bails her team out of trouble, and Finland scores 1 from the first end of this game. All the other sheets are not quite done with their games or with their first ends, so as soon as they are, I'll give you an update on what's happening on the other sheets. But here I'd like to say a few words about the structure of the competition for the girls' side. On the men's side, we've got 24 teams in 3 pools of 8 teams. And for the girls' side, it's also a really big competition to get that spot in the Worlds. But it's 19 teams for the girls, and they are in groups of 6 or 7 teams, depending a little bit in which group they are placed in. And from the girls' side as well as the guys' side, the top 3 teams of the competition, so the medalist teams, will get a spot in the Junior Worlds next spring. Ja tähän väliin sitten suomeksi lyhyt pätkä, eli jos siellä on suomalaisia katsojia linjoilla, niin voi tuohon live-chattiin kommentoida, jos tulee jotain kysyttävää, niin voin vähän nyt ikään kuin kaksikielisesti selostaa tätä peliä, ja voidaan hyvin vaihtaa sitten aina välillä joku pää suomen kielelle, olisi mieluisaa suomenkielistä selostusta välillä kuunnella. Muutoin näyttäisi, että toistaiseksi meillä on aika kansainvälinen yleisö, eli pitäydyn nyt tässä Englannissa vielä ainakin hetken aikaa. And nice first two rocks there in the second end by both of the teams. Really well-placed setup rock there on the top 8 by the Finnish lead. After a successful first end, at least a successful first end on the scoreboard, it's really good to get that first rock into the house, keep the game simple. And the Kazakhstan team is getting ready to play a little bit more aggressively and takes their guard to the side of the center line and trying to get the game going a little bit. And there was a bit of an unfortunate miss by the Finnish team in a way, splitting that great rock that they had covering the center line. But the weight was good, and at least they are line 2 in the house. And relatively good takeout there by the Kazakhstan team. Finland is now just looking to split the house again, to be lying 2 in the house, so that Kazakhstan will have to try to make sure they get that one with their last rock from this end. And if possible, I would like to hear your comments on the timing of the commentary. We have quite a bit of a delay in the broadcast to what is actually going on live. So if it seems like what I'm talking about hasn't happened yet, or it somehow feels like there's problems with the timing, please feel free to mention that in the chat section, and I'll try to do better. A couple of unfortunate misses there by both of the teams, and Finland again going for that splitting of the house. And again, the weight is just a little bit short. The sweepers did stop sweeping that quite early on. Personally, I maybe would have brought that as far as possible. They would have gotten it relatively close to the house, and it might have been rock to tap a little bit later on the end. They may end up having to run it back onto a Kazakhstani rock, so it would benefit them to have it a little bit closer to the house. It could also be a rock that they could split into the house, like we see Kazakhstan here almost doing. So Finland continues trying to do the same thing, except now they have that guard they just left there with their previous shot. Hopefully this one will have a bit more weight to it. It looks like it does. And the line looks pretty good too, so it looks like they got the result they were looking for. And now with their next rock, Kazakhstan trying to split the red one right in front of the house to come into the house as well as the rock they're playing. They want both of those rocks splitting into the house, and if they're successful with that shot, one bonus side will be that they will likely give themselves a better chance to get rid of the yellow that's close to the blue rings of the house, close to the 4-foot. And that probably overcurled a little bit to what they were looking for. So while they do have the shot rock for now, that might not be the case for very long, because the Finnish team can fully see it, so it should be a relatively simple takeout to get rid of that. And a good shot there by the Finnish team, who are now lying 3 in the house. You can see it is a junior game, in that they don't quite follow up with the rocks after a hit and roll like that. That rock would have been slightly better placed if the sweepers had brought it to the left after it hit the Kazakhstani rock. But most of the teams here are here to learn and just gain more of that international playing experience. I see we had zoomed in quite close to the featured sheet. We tried to zoom out a little to give you guys a view of the England-Poland as well as the Australia-Slovenia game. And before, I promised an update on what's going on the other sheets. So before we get to the last rocks of this end, I will do that. So in the Hungary-Japan game, Hungary is leading by 1 point after the first end. In the Australia-Slovenia game, it is 1-0 for Australia after the first end. England-Poland, Poland is leading by 1, so 1-0 after first end, there 2. USA-Czech Republic, 0-0 after the first end. And we have only 5 sheets playing tonight. It is a 6-sheet arena, but only 5 games going on tonight. So a very unfortunate result there from the point of view of the Finnish team. Kazakhstan, I'm sure, are very lucky or happy with that result, tapping that red one onto the house with their takeout. Looking at where Kazakhstan is holding their broom, I think their goal will be to draw another rock to the right-hand side of the house and get a bit of separation between the Kazakhstani rocks in the house. They are now laying 2. The goal obviously is to get a third one in there and make it difficult for the Finnish skip for her last rock. A good effort there by the Kazakhstan skip, but unfortunately they weren't quite able to use the opportunity they had. It was a little bit short to what they wanted, so now Finland has the chance to go for a double from the 2 Kazakhstan rocks we see there. Unfortunately, I can't see a clear angle from where I'm sitting. It looks like there might be a slight possibility of touching the yellow Finnish rock on the left-hand side if they get this double right, but it could be that it is just a good, simple, clean double, and after this shot, Finland will be lying 3 or even 4 in the house if it's played perfectly. Unfortunately, something really strange happened during the shot, and it was a complete miss by the Finnish skip. So Kazakhstan now has the simple task of just drawing a third point onto their own rocks that are already lying there in the house. And really nice draw weight there by the Kazakhstan skip, and Kazakhstan takes a score of 3 from the second end. So after 2, our total score of the game is 3-1 for Kazakhstan. So we now have the third end underway. Kazakhstan has chosen to go for a center guard, so they are attempting to give themselves a chance for a steal. And a good shot there by the Kazakhstan lead. Well, the Finnish team gets a little bit of a rub on that draw. They just touch the guard, but it was such a slight touch that it barely changed direction, and as the sweepers kept going after that, they have that draw almost completely hidden. It is a little bit in the back of the house, just behind the button, so Kazakhstan will likely try to draw their own rock right onto that one and create a chance to steal in this end. There are a couple of familiar faces on the coach bench in this game. The Kazakhstan coach, both for the boys and the girls team, is Erkilil from Estonia, who himself has played in the national team for Estonia for quite a few years. Probably not currently, but a few years ago. And then on the Finnish coach bench, we have Noora Surba, who is the mother of the skip in the team, and she herself has just played in the mixed national team of Finland in the mixed worlds this year, and also has quite a few appearances in the Europeans in the Finnish national women's team. So getting back to the game, Kazakhstan left their second shot a little bit short. It's not in a bad position though. Those are the kinds of rocks that you can really use in the end later on if you take control of the top 12 and the top 8 of the house. And Finland had a good chance to attack some more there, but unfortunately they were a little bit heavy with their draw, which we can now see on the back 12 of the house. The same problem with the Kazakhstan team. Their draw is a little bit heavy as well, so Finland is still lying shot with that one yellow that is slightly to the right of the center line, and Finland's calling for more rocks to the center. So even though they do have the hammer in this end, they seem to be happy to play towards the center of the house, which is not a bad strategy when you make your shots. Unfortunately, it looked like the Finnish players were a bit asleep there with the tap that they just played. They could have swept that red rock a little bit further, not necessarily outside of the house, but just to be sure that the yellow rock that they have in the back of the house is better than the red rock. It might still be, I'm not quite sure from here. But if those rocks in the back of the house do come into play later on in this game or in this end, it'll be unfortunate if you kind of missed sweeping it when you had a chance. Finland still continuing with the same strategy of drawing more rocks into the center of the house. But here, unfortunately, the line would have probably been pretty good if the weight had been a little bit closer to what it needed to be. But here it was a few meters long, which makes the stone curl less, so it will go a little bit straighter. And you don't quite get the same line that you would get if you played a proper draw weight to the center of the house. And here we see the same attempt again. I think Kazakhstan was attempting to get their own rock past that red rock on the top 8. But once it curled too much, they probably decided just to move things around and tap their own rock back a little bit to give themselves a bit of room for the shots to come. And Finland continuing with the same strategy of just drawing more rocks into the house. They were lucky enough to use the red rock there on the left-hand side to get a really nice roll off of that. So now we see one of the Finnish rocks right in the middle of the house. And that was probably part of the plan, to play the draw maybe slightly heavy, and when it doesn't quite curl enough, then you get a nice little rub off of the red one. Here I'm not quite sure what the call is by the Kazakhstan team. They are still using the same side both of the teams have been using for the entire game, or for the entire end. And to me it looks like on the other side of the sheet, Kazakhstan would have a great opportunity for a tap back, so they could use that red rock that is just right off the center line and tap that onto the yellow shot rock that Finland just placed there, because it doesn't look like there's an easy shot left on the left-hand side of the house. Finland deciding to put more pressure on. It looks to me that they're lying 3 at the moment, so even guarding the right-hand side of the sheet so that Kazakhstan can't use their own red rocks there would not be a bad call. But if they keep playing a great draw from the side that they've been using, I guess that's not a bad call either. So Finland a little bit heavy there with that draw. It's definitely not where they wanted it to be. All the good places for that rock to finish were on the top parts of the house, or even if it had been short enough to be a guard, it would have been fine with the way Finland is set up at the moment. But in the back of the house, it doesn't really help. But for some reason, both of the teams have just kind of stopped seeing the right-hand side of the sheet, and Kazakhstan is still continuing to use the left-hand side and going for that same kind of shot, even though it looks like it is very, very challenging from that side. But maybe they see something I don't, and it really is doable. With the amount of ice that they're taking, where the skip is placing her broom, it looks like Kazakhstan is going for a sort of a takeout weight from that side, and the line actually looks pretty good. So they must have seen more of that rock than what it looks like here. So good result there for Kazakhstan. I think it left Finland with just one rock that is better than the Kazakhstani team. And Finland now going for a control weight hit and roll off of the red rock that you see in the blue rings to the left of the center line. So they will try to roll their own rock to the center of the house. If the Finnish skip Noora Suuripak can pull this off, they will be lying 2 points before the last rock of the Kazakhstan skip. Unfortunately, Nora's rock there overcurled. Maybe they needed more ice. Maybe there was a problem with the release, and she just missed that red rock in the blue rings, and that didn't really help the Finnish team. If I were playing in Team Kazakhstan at the moment, I would be very, very tempted to try and move that yellow by using either one of the rocks on the right-hand side, because it really looks like you could do something with those. And if you could play a good shot off of there, you might end up having 4 rocks very close to the center. That would all be better than any of the Finnish rocks. Actually, even there, with the rock that Kazakhstan just played, if they had gotten a little rub of their own rock, the rock that the skip just played would have moved direction enough to tap the Finnish yellow rock a little bit. But not a terrible result if Kazakhstan would have been able to move it a little bit. But now, if we get a good last rock from the Finnish skip, we will see Finland scoring 2 from this end and tying the game. And a great shot there by Nora Solipap, pretty much right in the center of the house. And the sweepers judged it well too. And Finland scores 2. While we're waiting for end number 4 to start, I will go through the other sheets and their results as well. So on Sheet B, USA Czech Republic, the score is 3-1 after 3 ends for USA. England, Poland have played 2 ends at the moment, I think, and the score is 2-0 for Poland. In the Australia-Slovenia game, Australia is leading 2-0 after 2 ends. And finally, in the Hungary-Japan game, Hungary is leading 3-1. And I think they've played 3 games. There's quite a few players on the way here, but I think they have finished 3 ends as well. So our 4th end of the game is underway, and Finland probably didn't get quite the start they were looking for. When you're the starting team of an end, you want to be positioning your rocks closer to the center line. You want to control the center line of the house. But then when you've got that hammer in the end, you want to direct the game towards the sides of the house. Also, Finland could have maybe even left themselves a guard to create the game behind, but for some reason Kazakhstan chose to ignore the Finnish rock in the house, and their call probably was to get a corner guard, which unfortunately the lead probably threw that a little bit heavy. The corner guards Kazakhstan was attempting to place never really quite started to work out there, so they have opted to simplify their strategy for the rest of the end and are going for a takeout of the Finnish rocks that were in a position for a double, which Kazakhstan has just played there really well. Looking at the house now, it looks like it's going to be relatively straightforward end ahead for the remaining shots. It'll probably be Kazakhstan placing a rock in the house and Finland taking it out, and we'll keep exchanging takeouts or draws for the rest of the end, with the goal of Kazakhstani getting a 0 from this and keeping their hammer, or building themselves a chance for 2 points if Finland happen to miss one of their shots. But here Finland just gets enough of that red to take it out, while they roll their own rock out as well. With that draw played there by Kazakhstan, that was a little bit short and remained there as a guard. It will mean that there might be something other than draws and takeouts happening in this end. And that was a great draw there by the Finnish third player. It probably even slightly overcurled. You could probably see a bit of that from the right hand side if you're sitting on the hack getting ready to play. So Kazakhstan could maybe even try to take it out, but they are choosing to draw onto it using the same path Finland just used. It looks like the players are really finding their draw weight at the moment, and the sweepers are getting used to the conditions as well. They're judging the weight of the rocks quite nicely. And that's in an ideal position placed there by the Kazakhstan team. Something about what I mentioned at the start of this end, when you don't have the last rock in an end, you want to control the center of the house, and if you do have the last rock, you want to control the side of the house, and you want to direct the game to the side of the house. So unfortunately for Finland, once Kazakhstan put that guard up there, the corner guard that's protecting the side of the house, Finland decided to go behind it, which if you make all your shots that you need to after that, it might not be a bad decision. But slightly too often whenever you decide to go behind a corner guard and you don't have the last rock, things tend to end up going a little bit wrong, and it does give the opposition a chance for that score of 2 or even 3 if they end up making all of their shots and you maybe have a couple of misses along the way. And certainly now what seemed to be an end where there's really no chance for a score of more than 1, it looks like Kazakhstan is now taking control of the game. So with this shot, Kazakhstan chose to split the house and try to make sure that Finland will not have an easy double. And Kazakhstan played that draw beautifully. It's not absolutely level to the rock on the right hand side, but it doesn't really need to be because there's so much separation between the two red rocks. Looking at the scoreboard, which is now 3-3, so essentially it's the exact same situation as in the start of the game. And Finland is opting for quite a risky decision of just drawing. So what they will try to do, they will try to draw onto the red rock that's on the right hand side of the house, and they really do need to get this right, because if they don't, they are giving an even better opportunity for Kazakhstan to score quite a bay end here. Unfortunately, Finland was a little bit heavy with that shot, and now as you can see, it gives Kazakhstan an opportunity to place a third rock into the house and put even more pressure on the Finnish skip. what could have maybe prevented Finland from being in this situation is if they'd played a takeout from the red rock that's to the left of the center line and maybe tried to roll their own one to the right hand side of the house. And it would have kept things a bit more simple for Finland, and it would have been slightly less risky. It's always good to take risks when you need to, or when the rewards could be really great. But when the game is tied, you want to keep it as close as possible and not give the opposition too many chances to take a big score like that. And a good shot there by the skip of Team Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan takes their score of 3 from this end. So what looked like there wasn't really much going on for the first half of the end turned into a really successful end for Team Kazakhstan. And we now go on to the fourth end break. So the teams have about 4 or 5 minutes before the game will continue. I will zoom the view out a little bit for you guys, and you can see what's going on the other sheets. Sorry about the twists and turns there. We wanted to give you a chance to view the games on the other sheets. So Australia, Slovenia, you can see the score there, 3-0 after 3 ends for Australia. And they're getting close to finishing their fourth end as well. And things are looking pretty good for Australia at the moment. There's 2 red rocks playing the house that are better than the ones Slovenia's been able to place there. And then on the other sheet next to us, England, Poland. Our score is 3-0 for Poland. Poland's playing the yellow rocks, and also there, even the fourth end is looking really very good for Poland. It looks like what you see there, they were attempting to draw more rocks into the house and probably left that shot a little bit short. An unfortunate miss there by Slovenia. I think they were really trying to keep that rock straight and make sure that it touches the second Australian rock even a little bit, just to keep their own rock in play and maybe roll it closer to the central line, even if it hadn't been best rock. And as you can see, we've got our featured game starting now. So we are changing direction and showing you the Kazakhstan-Finland game again. So after 4 ends, our score is 6-3 for Kazakhstan. So for Kazakhstan, they're probably looking to keep things simple. They just took their score of 3. They're leading 6-3. So they would be very happy to just put that rock in the house, control the center land just like they did. But Finland managed to take that rock out, even though they did roll their own one out of the house. In a situation like this, looking at the scoreboard, Finland would also benefit from playing some cards to have something to create the game behind before Kazakhstan starts taking out the rocks. But we'll see how Finland hopefully creates a chance here to tie the game or get a little bit closer to the score that Kazakhstan has at the moment. While the teams are creating the setup for this end, I'll talk you through the results of the other sheets. On sheet B, USA is leading against Czech Republic 4-1 at the moment after 4 ends, so they are just returning back on the ice after their 4th end break. Also, Poland controlling their game against England. The score there is 6-0 after 4 ends. And the girls there too are just returning back on the ice. Hungary, Japan. Hungary's looking to be in really good form. They're leading by 6-1 in that game. And the score from the Australia-Slovenia game that we were just watching for a little bit and missed the last 2 shots in the live stream, I unfortunately can't see because there's a team meeting going on. So I will update you on that when I can. So it looks like Australia took a steal of 3 from the 4th end, where things were looking really good for them before the break, and they are now leading the game 6-0 after 4 ends. Our featured game here, Finland-Kazakhstan, the teams are both keeping up a good pace of play, so we're a little bit ahead of the 2 other sheets next to us, but we'll keep offering you the view of the 3 sheets, and hopefully sheets C and E will also pick up, and we'll see most of their game as well. So getting back to the game here, the Finnish third gets a very lucky rub off of the guards. It moved the guards into a slightly better position almost for Finland, because now the guards are kind of positioned in a way that Kazakhstan won't be able to try to use their own guards for a takeout. And also the draw that Finland was just playing, it would have been too heavy if it hadn't lost some of that weight when it was just touching that center guard. So looking really good for Finland before the skip rocks. And Kazakhstan here trying to decide what to do. I gotta say, looking at where they have placed the broom, it looks like Kazakhstan is deciding to draw. I don't think they have the kind of takeout weight needed for a takeout if you position the broom like that. Sometimes you see takeouts where the broom is exactly where you want to hit the rock, but you need to have quite a bit of weight in your delivery when you're playing shots like that. And I haven't seen that from this team yet. Looking at the rocks sliding down the ice, I do think a draw was the call. And the weight's not looking bad at all. And neither is the line, as you can see. So a pretty good shot there by Kazakhstan, but a slightly similar strategy to what Finland had in the end before. So maybe Kazakhstan is forgetting the scoreboard here a little bit. They're leading by 3 points, so it would benefit them to get rid of some of the Finnish rocks. Make sure Finland only scores 1 or 2 from this. Keep your lead. Get the hammer for the next end and take another 2 points maybe with the hammer. But now, should Finland make all their shots and Kazakhstan doesn't make the absolute perfect last shot that's going to bail them out of trouble, Finland should be looking at scoring 4 here. But now things are looking a little bit better for Kazakhstan. The draw there, skipped place there, was just good enough. It was mostly behind the guard. You could only see a little bit of it. The Finnish skip attempting to take it out hits one of the center guards. And now, sure, you can see all of the Kazakhstan rock in the middle, but they will probably be placing a guard for that for their last one and trying to go for a steal of 1. Oh, well, this will make things interesting for the last rock. I believe Kazakhstan did not want the rock to come that far into the house. I do think their call was to guard that rock that was right in the middle. And what they've done here is they have left Finland with a chance for a double out of those 2 red rocks. So, should the Finnish skip be successful in this shot? It might leave Finland lying 4 or scoring 4 from this end. The rock's just coming down the ice. They're calling really hard for the sweeping. And here we go. Good shot. It does jam to one of the rocks on the side of the house, and that seems to have saved Kazakhstan here. And I believe it was only a score of 1 for Finland. We'll see what the umpires put up on the scoreboard. Yes, it does look like it was a score of 1. Unfortunate that there was that jam for the Finnish team. It was a great finish by their skip. Well played double, well swept, well called. So it would have been nice to see them get rewarded for that a little bit more. There was a good chance to get quite a few more points from that end. And looking at the first rock of the Finnish lead in the 6th end, the positioning is not ideal. You would want to control the central line again and be on top of the tee. And this one's a little bit heavy, but I'm not quite sure what the call was for Kazakhstan. I think they were maybe going for that corner guard again, since they have the hammer, and the lead of the Kazakhstan team can't quite find the weight either, and their rock ends up quite deep in the house as well. So the way Finland is looking at this at the moment is they will just take this red one out, try to keep being successful with their takeouts, and hopefully be lying to. This shot, however, will not do it. It was one that they kept calling for line the entire way, and it just barely caught the Kazakhstan rock in the house, and the Finland team rolls out. Kazakhstan has chosen to change strategy here, and they are taking out the Finnish rock in the house instead of trying to get maybe a guard up and go from there. And a good takeout there by Team Kazakhstan. So there, Kazakhstan giving Finland a bit of a chance by missing that takeout, and Finland will be attempting to split the house by drawing another rock into the house to the other side of the house to make sure they leave a very challenging double for Kazakhstan, or don't leave that double at all. So ideally, you would want the rock where the skip is now holding her broom. I'm not sure if that was a bit of a sweeping mistake there, or if the rock was heavy all along. It looked like it was swept quite a lot along the way, and it maybe went a little bit further than the players thought it would. So it just slides through the house, and the opportunity the Kazakhstan team gave to the Finnish were unfortunately not able to use that. But then we get another miss from the Kazakhstan team. So the Finnish get another chance to try for that draw again. Maybe some of you guys saw what happened there. I was looking at the scores from the other games, so I fortunately missed whatever was happening there with the rock that both of the Finnish players were looking at. I think they maybe thought they touched it slightly and were trying to ask the Kazakhstan team if they wanted to position it a little bit differently, but all seems to be okay now. So Finland not quite successful in splitting the house. They're a little bit short with their draw, which gives Kazakhstan a chance to draw behind that guard and try to create their 2 points that way from this end. In the other sheets, Australia is still leading 6-0 after 4 ends. Hungary leading 6-3 against Japan. So Japan has taken a score of 2 from the 5th end. And Czech Republic has been able to score 1 from the 5th. So the score there against USA is 4-2 for USA. And at the moment, things are looking pretty good for USA and quite challenging for the Czech team. So we'll see what happens there. Poland, on the other hand, is having a great day on the ice, and they are leading 8-0 against the English team. So in our featured game, Kazakhstan was not quite able to use the opportunity they had of going behind that guard. So Finland now uses the chance they had, makes the perfect draw behind it. And Kazakhstan is maybe has decided to follow that draw that Finland just played. It looks like quite a lot of ice, but maybe it is quite swingy out there today, and it will curl as much as they need it to. No, it was not a draw, it was a takeout from the rock that was showing there on the right hand side. A sort of a 50% successful shot. They get rid of the Finnish rock, but lose their own rock in the process. Not a bad call to call for that takeout by Team Kazakhstan if the skip is wanting to make sure that they don't leave her in a position to be playing against several Finnish rocks in the house. If you decide to go for the more risky choice and try to get a draw behind that yellow guard where the Finnish team is now lying, it can be a bit of a challenging finish to the end if you don't make your shots perfect. So this is a way to keep things more simple, considering Kazakhstan is already leading 6-4. Finland attempting to draw to the side of the house again to make sure they've got the 2 in the house, making things more challenging for Kazakhstan. But unfortunately, it's another short draw, and Finland loses a bit of their momentum in this end. Kazakhstan, unfortunately, a little bit heavy there with their draw. They were probably trying to get it to stop just in front of that yellow one and still be shot rock, or maybe just curl behind it and remain shot rock. But just a little bit too much weight there. It does stay in the house, but Finland still has shot rock behind the guard. And well, if I was Finland, I wouldn't even mind sort of guarding that rock that they've placed there, like just guarding it a little bit more, playing another rock behind the yellow guard there, and really put the pressure on Kazakhstan. But it looks like they decided they will split the house, and unfortunately, as you can see, that draw was way too heavy. It just slides through the house. So, but even though that was not a successful shot, Finland still does have shot rock in this end, and Kazakhstan, looking at how much ice they're deciding to take for this shot, is not going to try to take their yellow rock out with a sort of a tap back. So Kazakhstan is just choosing to draw to the center of the house for their 1 point. And a wonderful, wonderful draw there by the skip of Team Kazakhstan. They take their 1, and that will give them a total score of 7 against 4. Sorry for moving the camera there for a little bit. I wanted to see if we would be able to show you some of the other games once this one finishes, and it looks like we do have a view of sheet B as well, which looks to be a very even game at the moment. The other 2 games next to us, either one of the teams is having a really good day, and maybe the other one is struggling a little bit, so I'm not sure if those games will last for the full 8 ends. Ja tähän väliin pätkä suomea. Jos siellä on suomalaisia curlingin ystäviä katselemassa, niin saa kommentoida tonne live-chattiin, jos toivoisitte, että kommentoidaan vaikka loppupeli tai yksi pää tässä jossain vaiheessa. 2 tähän tässä vielä jäljellä, niin suomen kielellä. Tuolla oli aikaisempi toive chatissa, että englanninkielinen kommentointi olisi jees, mutta saa toki toivoa, jos haluat, että loppupelissä sitten vaikka viimeinen pää kommentoitaisiin suomeksi. It seems like Finland is maybe forgetting the scoreboard and the basic strategy here a little bit. Kazakhstan is leading 7-4, and Finland is opting to go for a takeout of the Kazakhstan rock in the house. And Finland really should be going for shots where they can be absolutely sure that their own rock stays in the house. It would be good to have some guards in play to make the shots more difficult for Team Kazakhstan. So it would benefit the Finnish team to stay a bit more aggressive, even if they do have the last rock in this end. But there have been some misses from both of the teams, some missed takeouts, struggling with the draw bait a little bit. So even if you don't pick the ideal strategy, you might still have a good chance to get the score you're looking for if the opposition quite doesn't make all their shots. But it's never good to count on the opposition missing. You would much rather try to make your own shots perfect. Okei, sieltä tulikin pari kommenttia, että tähän väliin otettaisiin suomeksi, niin voidaan vaikka tämä seiskapää tästä vetää suomeksi. Ja näyttäisi, että meillä on aika paljon Kazakstanista väkeä katsomassa, joilla riittää seuraa tuolla chatin puolella omalla kielellä, niin heitäkään tuskin haittanee. So, as mentioned at the start of the game, I might do some of the commentary in Finnish, and we've got a couple of Finnish people watching, so I will change languages at this point and maybe get back to you in English at some point. No niin, eli jos nyt palaillaan tämän pelin ääreen suomeksi, niin harmittavan tyhjältä näyttää pesä tässä vaiheessa pistetilannetta ajatellen, eli Suomella tosiaan 3 pisteen tappioasema ja heillä olisi tässä ihan mainio tilaisuus vähän kirjaa tuota eroa kiinni rakentamalla sitä peliä suojien avulla, mutta nyt Suomi näyttää vähän jumiutuneen tämmöiseen poistomoodiin ja reagoi vaan sitten näihin pesässä oleviin Kazakstanin kiviin sillä ratkaisulla, että pyrkivät poistamaan kaiken, mikä siellä on. Ja nyt valitettavasti tuli tämmöinen missattu heittokin tähän vielä, eli ei päästy tuosta kivestä eroon, eikä tosiaan saatu sitä omaa sinne pesään. Taktisesti tällä lailla on tosi vaikea saada enemmän kuin se 1 piste, ellei sitten tuu vastustajilta isompia epäonnistumisia. Eli Suomen kannalta tässä vaiheessa suomen kielellä uskaltaa toivoa, että ehkä Kazakstanin joukkue antaisi vähän siimaa tässä Suomelle, jotta olisi pieni mahdollisuus sitten kirjaa tuota eroa umpeen tuolla pistetaululla. Ja sieltä ihan hyvä määris Kazakstanilta, ja nyt Suomen pitäisi malttaa tosiaan ennemmin pelata kiinni tuonne pesään noihin kiviin, ja niin toi Noora tuolla pesässä onneksi näyttääkin, että heitetäänpäs nyt määris tähän kiinni tuohon punaiseen, eli toisin sanoen nojakivi siihen, koska sitten kun sellaiset saadaan onnistumaan, niin jätetään heti automaattisesti paljon vaikeampia heittoja vastustajille, kun nämä pelkät avoimet poistot on. Siellä ollaan 3 tytön voimalla nyt harjaamassa, eli ilmeisesti linja näyttää tosi hyvältä. Nyt pitäisi malttaa kyllä, antaa varmaan kiven vähän olla, ettei pomppaa liikaa tuosta. Eli Tuossa olisi kyllä ollut se ideaali osuma se, että ei olisi liikuttanut tuota punaista ollenkaan, vaan olisi tosiaan malttanut nostaa harjat ylös ja antanut sen ihan vähän hidastua, ihan vähän enemmän nousta tuohon loppuun, niin olisi saatu aivan mahtava lopputulos. Heitto itsessään oli todella hyvä. Mutta nyt tosiaan kävi harmittavasti niin, että aika paljon helpomman heiton sai Kazakstan tähän väliin itselleen, kun se sen verran irtosi tuosta punaisesta. Ja he hienosti onnistui sen siitä välistä poistamaan. Ja Noora näyttää edelleen samaa heittoa. Varmaankin sillä saadaan ihan hyvä lopputulos, ja kun sama heittäjä on heittämässä, niin usein on hyvä pyytää sitten se sama heitto, minkä se on juuri onnistunut heittämään. Yksi vaihtoehto olisi myös tulla nojaa tuohon tällä hetkellä kaikista lähimpänä keskipistettä olevan kiven eteen. Sillä tavalla Suomi pystyisi varmistamaan, että jos se noja on onnistunut, niin heillä todennäköisesti olisi se paras pistekivi, mutta sitten toisaalta myös siinä saisi aika inhottavat jammikulmat rakennettua tuolle kaverille. Taas tosi hieno heitto Suomen kolmosheittäjältä, ja todella hyvässä hahlossa on nyt toi voimahallinta näissä määriksissä hänellä, mutta ihan ei noussut tarpeeksi. Voi olla, että vähän matkalla harjattiin taas liikaa, tai sitten oli ihan pikkasen liian kova heitto kyseessä, mutta tämä nojaheitto onkin yksi curlingin haastavimpia heittoja. Eli marginaalit kyllä on todella pienet, ja siinä ei ihan hirveästi ole varaa virheeseen, kun se pitäisi saada just kiinni siihen toiseen kiveen ilman, että se sitä juurikaan tökkää. Ja taas jäi turhan helppo heitto tosiaan, kun se sen verran pompsahti niin Kazakstanille, ja hienosti saivat taas sen ujutettua siitä välistä. Eli hyviä on ollut kyllä nämä Kazakstaninkin poistot näistä Suomen kivistä. Herkästi tuossa olisi voinut käydä niin, että se olisi vähän hivassut Suomen kiveä ja jäänyt sinne pesään jonnekin notkumaan, mutta hyviä heittoja ovat heittäneet. Nyt näyttäisi tässä vaiheessa, että Suomi päättää poistaa näitä Kazakstanin kiviä tällä Nooran ekalla. Merkin perusteella luulisin, että saatetaan ehkä hakea vaan pois tuota, mitä lähinnä toi harja tuossa on, ja sitten siitä tuplaa samalla tuosta kivestä, mikä on tuolla takavalkoisena. Ehkä jos itse olisin tekemässä valintoja pesässä, niin voi olla, että päätyisin poistoon, mutta voi olla, että päätyisin toisaalta sitten semmoiseen voimaan, millä vähän vaan liikuteltaisiin niitä kiviä siellä, ja yrittäisin jättää suuremman mahdollisuuden Kazakstanille mokata. Eli siellä olisi monta kiveä, mihin he voisivat sitten jammata, mutta tosi hieno heitto siinä Nooralta. Hän sai noista kahdesta sinisellä olevista tuplan ja onnistui sitten liikuttelemaan vielä sitä siellä takavalkoisella ollutta kiveä. Ja hyvin jäi noi Kazakstanin punaiset kivet tonne takapunaiselle ton meidän kiven taakse, eli niinku tosi hyvä lopputulos hankalassa tilanteessa. Eli poistoksi ei ollenkaan huono valinta. Nyt se riski, mikä Kazakstanilla on tässä niitten kapteenin vikalle kivelle, on se, että se heitto nousee liikaa ja he osuu suoraan päin tuohon keltaiseen, jolloin Suomelle jää sitten toi keltainen tuonne takapesään sopivasti takavalkoiselle, kun se osuu tuolla takapunaisella oleviin punaisiin. Mutta linja näyttää vissiin aika hyvältä Kazakstanin kannalta. He poimii sen siitä ihan nätisti. Eivät osu mihinkään omiin kiviinsä siellä pesän takaosassa. Ja sitten Noora näyttääkin siinä, että heitetään nyt vaan sitten tuohon pesään saa tulla vaikka ihan takapesään asti, kun tuolla on noi nojakivet. Elikkä niin kuin pää oikeastaan alusta alkaen näytti, kun päädyttiin siihen avoimeen taktiikkaan ja poisteltiin lähinnä niitä kiviä eikä sitten ehkä rakenneltu sitä peliä suojien avulla, niin se vähän kostautui siinä, että ei sitten tarjoutunut mahdollisuutta rakentaa tästä isompaa pistesaldoa itselleen ja päinvastoin hieman inhottavaan paikkaan joutuu heittämään 3 kaverin kiveä vastaan. Noora on kyllä heittänyt muutaman tosi hienon viimeisen määriksen tässä pelissä, eli toivotaan, että määrisvoima on säilynyt näihin vikoihin kiviin edelleen hallussa ja Harja jatki tuo sen hyvin perille sinne, minne kuuluu. Vähän on reippaan näköinen tää heitto, mutta onneksi linja näyttää aika hyvältä. Joo, riitti oikein hyvin meille, eli varmasti siitä vakuuttavalla vikalla heitolla 1 piste Suomelle ja 7-5 tilanteessa lähdetään sitten siirtymään tuonne 8-päähän. Ja 8-päähän on näissä kisoissa ollut se viimeinen. Välillä pelataan 10 päätä sitten näissä WCF:n arvokisoissa. Muistaakseni myös Junnu missä sitten täältä kun pääsee 3 parasta sinne A-divisioonaan. Jos siellä suomalaisilla katsojilla tulee mieleen jotain kysymyksiä ihan tästä itse kisasta tai pistelaskusta tai säännöistä tai muuta, niin saa kysellä siinä live-chatissa, niin ehdin vielä 1 pään verran sitten suomeksi vastailemaan. Ja tässä kun meidän telkkapelin ihmiset, joukkueet valmistautuu tähän viimeiseen päähän, niin voidaan pikaisesti käydä läpi noi muiden ratojen tulokset ja mä sen suoritan tässä englanniksi, niin saadaan tieto tonne muillekin katsojille. So just a quick update in English of the results going on other sheets. So England-Poland game has finished after 6 ends. The Polish won the game 8-1, so they had an excellent game there. Never really gave a chance to the English team. And Hungary-Japan has evened out a little bit, but Hungary still has a solid lead. After 6 ends, they are leading 7-3. USA-Czech Republic remains to be very even. It's 4-3 for USA. And then finally, Australia, Slovenia. Australia is continuing to play really well. The score there is 7-1 after 6 ends. Slovenia has not shaken hands with Australia yet, so they are playing the 7th end. Even though the Australians are leading considerably. Because we have a few Finnish people watching the Finnish team for this game, I will switch back to Finnish now. No niin, eli nyt sitten tätä päätä ollaan päästy aloittelemaan. Jos siellä suomalaiset katsojat ihmettelivät, että miksi Kazakstan vaan heitti läpi ton punaisen kiven, niin heillä on tosiaan tällaisessa johtoasemassa ja viimeisellä kivellä siinä ideana se, että ei haluta sinne pesään mitään omia kiviä, esimerkiksi takapesään, mitkä vois sitten jossain loppuvaiheessa päätä kostautua niin, että niihin Suomen kivet jämmäilisi poistovaiheessa tai muuta, eli halutaan pitää mahdollisimman puhtaana tuo koko pelialue, niin siellä ei ole mitään, minkä taakse Suomi pääsisi pelaamaan, eikä toisaalta sitten tosiaan mitään siellä takapesässä, mihin ne heitot voisi myöhemmin jämmätä. Ja Suomen tavoite tässä päässä on vaan saada erinomaisia suojia paikalleen, ja se nyt ei valitettavasti vielä tässä alkupäässä nyt onnistunut, mikä kyllä yleensä hankaloittaa sitten tosi paljon, kun pitäisi vielä ryöstää, eli kun meillä ei sitä viimeistä kiveä ole. Eli nyt tässä vaiheessa, kun suojat ei ole ihan siellä, missä pitää, ja niitä ei ole kuin tuo yksi kappale, mitä Kazakstan parhaillaan pyrkii poistamaan, niin yleensä ollaan sitten sen varassa, että kaverin pitää kyllä sitten epäonnistua niitä omia heittojaan, jotta sieltä pisteitä voisi irrota. Nyt en nähnyt, että mitä Noora pyysi tällä tätä heittoa varten. Kenties yritettiin saada kiveä pesään, mutta kyllä nyt pitäisi vain sitkeästi jaksaa hakea niitä keskisuojia mahdollisimman pitkään tämän pesän aikana. Ja nyt valitettavasti tuntuu määrisvoima ihan katoavan siellä, eli oli ihan lähes tommonen tökkipoistovoimainen heitto. Eli siitä ei nyt valitettavasti saatu mitään hyötyä Suomen joukkueelle. Toivotaan, että ensi heitolla sitten hoksattaisiin pyytää niitä suojia paikalleen ja voimatkin olisi kohdallaan. Ja Kazakstan näyttää jatkavan tällä samalla linjalla, eli sieltä heitetään tyytyväisenä vaan kivi läpi ja pidetään huoli, että pelialue pysyy tyhjänä. No nyt onnistuttiin siinä, mitä haettiin, mutta valitettavasti toi sivumääris tuolla sivupesassa ei kauheasti nyt auta siinä, että saataisiin kurottua tämä Kazakstanin 2 pisteen johto kiinni. Eli taktisesti varmaan joukkueella sitten pelin jälkeen hyvää läpikäymistä siinä, että miten sitä vikapäätä pitäisi rakentaa, kun ollaan takaajoasemassa eikä ole sitä viimeistä kiveä. Ja nämä onkin loistavia oppeja aina uusille juniorijoukkueille, kun pääsee kansainvälisille jäille pelaamaan ihan hyviä jengejä vastaan ja toisaalta ajoittain ihan suht samantasoisia jengejä, niin kuin tässäkin pelissä on molemmilla aika hyvin ollut mahdollisuuksia ja sitten on toisaalta heitollisia virheitäkin tapahtunut ja sitten välillä vähän taktisia ongelmia molemmilla. I see there was a request if I could try some commentating in, what's it called? Kazakh is the language, I think. And unfortunately, no chance. That is one language I don't know any words in, so I apologize. It'll either be English or Finnish, but that's all I've got for this session. Oman kokemuksen mukaan nyt kyllä rupeaa näyttämään vähän siltä, että peli on ohi Suomen kannalta, kun Kazakstan saa vielä tämän toisenkin punaisen tonne pesään. Ellei Suomi nyt keksi, että ei poistetakaan mitään ja onnistuvat täydellisesti jossain nojassa ja jättävät tosi haastavia Kazakstanille ja heillä nyt jostain syystä kumpikaan heitto ei sitten onnistu. Tällä Nooran vikalla haetaankin nytten nojaa tonne vasemmalla puolella olevaan punaiseen kiveen, eli taas nimenomaan semmoista heittoa, mikä ei yhtään tökkäisi, vaan se tulisi just kiinni tuohon, ja sen pitäisi varmaan tulla vähän kiinni siihen niin, että se jää hieman enemmän oikealle kuin toi pesässä oleva kivi, jotta pystytään varmistumaan, että se Suomen kivi on sitten hieman parempi kuin tämä punainen pesässä oleva. Toivotaan, että Noora saa oikein hienon heiton aikaiseksi ja harjaajat arvioivat myös voiman kohdalleen. Täältä katsottuna voima näyttää tosi hyvältä, mutta ehkä jopa siltä, että pitäisi nyt malttaa vähän olla harjaamatta. Ja tosi hieno heitto Nooralta. Ihan pikkasen olisi pitänyt olla vielä malttia. Linja oli ihan täydellinen, eli niin kuin näette, niin hieman on oikeammalla kuin toi punainen kivi tuolla pesässä, mutta nyt se valitettavasti pikkasen tökkäsi sitä, mikä nyt sitten, kun muistetaan Kazakstanin poistotarkkuus tuossa viime päässä, kun heillä rupesi se poisto aika hyvin jo toimimaan, niin voi olla, että tämä on vähän liian helppo nakki heille, kun siinä ei hirveän isoa riskiä ole sen jammiin. Mutta jos se nyt sattuisi nousemaan liikaa tämä Kazakstanin heitto, niin sittenhän siinä käy niin, että tämä keltainen osuu tuohon punaiseen, mikä tuossa takana on. Ja jos se nousee oikein paljonkin se Kazakstanin heitto, niin se heidän heittokyky voi sitten vaikka rollata ulos. Kazakstan näyttää kyllä olevan aika rauhallisin mielin, kun tuo kivi tuolta tulee. Ja niin kuin näette, Suomen joukkue sitten kätteleekin, koska tämähän tarkoittaa sitä, että Suomi ei voi enää saada riittävää määrää pisteitä voidakseen tasoittaa pelin. Mutta tosi hieno yritys oli Nooralta siinä Nooran vikalla tämä noja. Harmittavasti vaan taktisesti olisi voinut jäädä Suomelle ihan hyviäkin paikkoja siellä, jos oltaisiin uskallettu pelata niitä suojia sinne vähän siinä pään alussa, ja heitot olisi tietysti tarvinnutkin ehkä onnistua hieman paremmin. So thanks for anyone who was watching for that round. It looks like almost all the games are finishing at the same time. Australia has beaten Slovenia 9-1 after 7 ends. Poland has beaten England 8-1 after 6 ends. USA took a big score against Czech Republic from the 7th end, after which the teams shook hands because the score at that point was 8-3 for USA. And then it looks like we have one game going on the site sheet, which is Hungary-Japan. Japan has climbed their way back into the game. It is 7-5 for Hungary at the moment. Hungary has the hammer in this end, but it still looks like Japan's in a pretty good position to actually steal, and they have just taken a timeout. If you bear with us, we will see if we can twist the camera enough to give you a view of what's happening there, because with the way it looks, it might even go to extra end. There are a few stones left still, so it depends how it all works out. But if any of you are planning to leave, thanks for watching. I think there will be a couple of interviews from Team Kazakhstan or maybe even Team Finland, so if you want to stay tuned for that, we will show the image of the interviews, or if not, at least you should be getting the sound from that. And meanwhile, I will try to see if I can show you what's going on in the game that's being played on sheet F with Hungary and Japan. So for now, thanks for watching. So as you can see there now, Japan's laying 2 in the house. They're down by 2 and they don't have the last rock. So they have just used their timeout to figure out what it is that we should do to try to give ourselves a chance of scoring 2 from this. And what they decided to go for was a guard. I'm not sure if that's where they wanted the guard. It is not a bad call to protect the center line, but it does look like the 2 yellow rocks are open for Hungary to hit at the moment. So, you know, it might have been useful to protect those with this shot and then maybe go for the center guard after that. That was the last rock of the 3rd player of Japan, so we will still see the last rock of the 3rd player and then the skip rocks. And we'll get to the interview now.
Okay, can you summarize today's competition?
Please help me, Yerki. Sorry.
Can you tell something about this competition?
Yes. Our team in this competition, 5 year. 5 yet, yes. And this year we hope go to the final for medals. Yes.
Okay. As a young athlete, what challenge do you face?
I don't know really. Я не знаю, что они спрашивают. I don't know.
What kind of opportunity for you to connect curling?
Sure.
Told me something about your start curling.
I'm start curling 7 years ago. Yes, 7 years ago, and in this competition, it's my 5th competition. Yes, and all our team is very younger in curling from Kazakhstan, because curling from Kazakhstan it's very young sport. Yes.
How about your team's future plan?
Sure, we have a big future because repeat, our team very very younger, and we hope we take the medal and go to the Olympic Games 22. Yes, 22. Yes.
Do you know 2022 will held in Beijing?
Yes.
And you can say something about 2022 Olympic.
I hope that this Ерки, пожалуйста, и так много камер на меня смотрит. I'm very nervous.
Okay, thank you.
Nervous,
Oh, it's okay. Thank you.
Thank you too. That's all?
Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
So it looks like we got one of the players for an interview there, and that's why we decided to give you the sound and switch back to the game that's going on here between Hungary and Japan. Hungary also used their timeout just before this shot, trying to decide what to go for, and they played a good takeout of one of the Japanese rocks in the house. And here I think Japanese tried to use their own rock to get rid of the red rock on the sidelines there, and didn't really succeed in what they were doing. but there's still 2 Hungarian rocks to come, and Japan still has their last rock to play. Okay, so that looks like our last game of this round is now finished. And our live stream will continue tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, I don't have the list here available of which game it is, but if you go and check out Curling Finland on Facebook, we have published the entire broadcast schedule for all of the round robin there. So go and check it out if you want. But it's always the sheet D that will be featuring, but we're always also trying to show you the games that are going on sheet E and C, so you get to view a little bit more. Tomorrow we'll have commentary for the games at 12 o'clock and at 8 p.m. During the night, and for the other 2 at 8 o'clock, and I think it's maybe 4 or 4:30. We won't have any commentary, but you'll still get the live stream. Thanks for watching and have a good night.